everybody. So today we're going to be doing a book talk that centers around what I think is the big three of other fictional worlds, and those include Wonderland, Neverland, and Oz. So each of these books I'm going to recommend, it retells the original stories in some way, but it's also centered around teenagers in the modern day who are really just trying to make it through high school, which, as all of us probably know, is difficult in and of itself. But in each of these stories, all of the elements of those fictional worlds are coming in. They're making it harder for these teenagers to make it through high school. So these are all books that I think have relatable characters. They're relatable in different ways in each book, but I think there's something for everyone in each of these books. So the first book we're going to chat about is called Splintered by A.G. Howard. Now this book centers around Alyssa Gardner, who is the I don't know how many greats, granddaughter of Alice Liddell from the original Alice in Wonderland book. She's terrified that she's going to end up just like her mother, who has already entered a mental institution due to the curse that has plagued her entire family since Alice's time in Wonderland, which is that they can hear the plants and the bugs, like literally talking to them, to each other, and obviously that starts to take over Alyssa's life, and it's only getting worse. So there is a love triangle in this book, for the whole series. Actually, this is a trilogy, but the first guy in that love triangle enters the scene and tells her that her mother can get out if she just comes to Wonderland and fixes all of the mistakes that Alice made the first go around. So she jumps on that, but unfortunately so does the other guy in the love triangle, which is her longtime childhood friend named Jeb. And so he accidentally tags along with her to Wonderland. And at that point, it's just the three of them trying to complete these tasks and trials. So this is just the first book. It's very whimsical in the way that we expect Wonderland to be. So, I mean, you see literally just plants and bugs, and it's very good. It talks a lot about the madness of Wonderland. So if you like the original story, but you want something that feels more modern, excellent book for you to pick up. So the second book we're going to chat about is called Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas, and this is a Peter Pan retelling. It stays very true to the original story in that the characters are the same. A lot of the storyline in general is the same, but it's set in a modern era, and it's set in a tiny town in Oregon with this creepy wooded area surrounding it. So the main character's name is Wendy, and when she's 12 years old, she and her brothers go missing in these woods, and she's the only one who ever made it back. And she has no memory of what happened during that time. So one of the themes very, very present throughout this entire book is trauma and how we as a society deal with trauma. So it's very relevant to what teenagers are going through, whether it is wanting your parents to be proud of you or fear of moving away for the first time. It kind of deals with all of those elements, but at the same time, the backdrop is Peter Pan. So she comes back after, and obviously has no memory of what happened, but 5 years later, abductions start happening again. And so all these children are going missing again, and one night she's driving home from work and something literally falls out of the sky and hits her car. And lo and behold, it's Peter Pan. So the third book that we're going to chat about is called Dorothy Must Die by Daniel Page. Now, this is a Wizard of Oz retelling, and it focuses on Amy Gum, who has always been pretty down on her luck. She has a very absent mother. She's relentlessly teased by her classmates her entire life because she is raised in a trailer park and her mom is an addict. So she's always had a very rough go of things until a tornado literally lifts her trailer house out of the sky and drops her in Oz. And at that point she meets all of these crazy characters that are kind of what you would expect from Oz, but simultaneously there are these characters who you thought were a certain way, and it turns out it's completely different. So the Wicked Witches are actually the good guys, and the good witches, such as Glinda, are actually the bad guys, and Dorothy's the worst of them all. So this is just the story of a girl from Kansas trying to save Oz yet again. So I would say if you like very feisty characters and you want to feel something, that this is something that if you read it, you are going to feel everything that Amy is feeling the entire time. So it's a very enjoyable read. It does have some romantic elements to it, but by no means is it just a romance novel. So I hope you enjoyed all of these options. I think if you like fantasy already, especially if you like any of these original stories, you're really going to love these. Bye!